Und ja. Schauen wir mal, was uns heute so erwartet. Im 3. Kapitel. Continue. So, letztes Mal, wer sich nicht mehr daran erinnern kann, letztes Mal hatten wir dieses eine Picknick mit den ganzen Leuten und wir sind dann mit... Name ist mir entfallen, ich glaube, war das Mion? Jedenfalls die eine orangehaarige, die immer cute sagt, mit der waren wir dann noch auf dem Schrottplatz. Und da haben wir von einem Mord erfahren, der da irgendwie ein bisschen was mit dem Schrottplatz zu tun hat, jedenfalls. Irgendwas mit, ich glaube, Arm oder Bein, das eventuell gefunden wurde, beziehungsweise nicht gefunden wurde. Ich kann mich nicht mehr ganz so dran erinnern und ich habe den Anime auch schon sehr, sehr lange nicht mehr geschaut. Irgendwas war da. Und ja. So. Colonel Sanders, genau. Nämlich die eine, mit der wir da gegangen sind, die möchte eine Colonel Sanders Statue mitnehmen. Die kommen das Spiel nicht bekannt vor. Das ist komisch, weil das haben wir schon mindestens zweimal gespielt. Friedenshaus. Ich glaube die letzten beiden Samstag-Streams. Ne, die 2 Samstag-Streams davor, weil letzten Samstag war ja Jezebel bei mir. Na jedenfalls. Colonel Sanders. Ah, of course, that's right up her alley. I understand her wanting to take home Satoko and Rika-chan. But I can't understand the Colonel Sanders. What's so good about that four-eyed geezer? Probably better to hear it from Reina, don't you think? She'll probably just say, because it's just so cute, though. Reina. Reina war es. Das ist, glaube ich, Mion. Eigenständig, nicht eigenständig, das ist genau dies, also soweit ich weiß, ist das genau die Story, die im Anime auch erzählt wird. Beziehungsweise andersrum, im Anime wird die Story von dieser Visual Novel bzw. Sound Novel erzählt. Weil zuerst kam die Sound Novel, das hier ist ein Remake. Wenn ich mal kurz zeigen kann. Das sind eben so HD-Texturen bei den Charakteren. Die Originalcharaktere sahen noch so aus. Wurde jetzt dem Anime anscheinend angepasst. Nehme ich mal an und ja. Also zuerst kam die Novel und dann kam der Anime und der Anime erzählt halt eben das, was in der Novel erzählt wird. So. Does Reina often go to the construction site to hunt for treasure? Every now and then she says she's going to have a look. But a girl her age rummaging around in garbage is, well, if Reina enjoys it, then I think it's fine. What were they doing over there? Damn construction? It had been bugging me since yesterday, like an itch I couldn't scratch. Ha ha ha! It was cancelled a long time ago. Everyone gathered together and fought against it. Hearing an ominous word like "fought" come from Rika-chan's mouth startled me. That's right. It was unbelievable. They said Hinamizawa would be sunk into the reservoir and we had no say in the matter. So I'm only able to be here because the protest succeeded. Ah, da ist er. I'm sorry. I didn't keep you, did I? Did I? My deepest apologies, Keiichi-chan. Keiichi-san. It took me a while to powder my nose. Stoko, wait to use the can until you really have to go. Miss. It's a lot easier since it shoots right out. Miss. Eek. How dare you speak that way to a maiden of unparalleled beauty such as myself? Who was she calling a maiden? If Satoko really was a maiden, she wouldn't have reacted like that. The usual hijinks ensued. Okay. Ich bin immer noch der Meinung, Dialoge und so weiter sind ein bisschen sehr durcheinander. Wo man teilweise überhaupt nicht weiß, wer irgendwas gesagt hat. Das hätten sie so ähnlich wie bei Katawa Shoujo oder anderen Visual Novels, wo man halt so eine Sprachbox hat und nicht den kompletten Bildschirm. Hätten sie definitiv besser machen können. Aber egal. Now then, gentlemen, in accordance with the rules of our society, I bring a point to discussion. He, Keiichi Maibara-kun, wishes to be included as a member in our activities. What say you? Reina has no objection. Oh ho ho ho! I wonder if the likes of this peasant is up to the task. Warum reden die jetzt so komisch? Me and Satoko both approve. The three that Mion had queried voiced their approval. An unanimous decision. Congratulations, Keiichi Maibara-kun. I present you the honor of being allowed to take the entrance exam of our club. Start from the beginning. I didn't say I would join. What club is this? What our club does, you see, in order to cope with our complicated society, we perform various activities under different sets of rules. Sometimes they are in your favor, and sometimes they work against you. I'm pretty weak, so I'd prefer if you didn't single me out. Let's try to get along. You're so naive, Reina. The law of the jungle is survival of the fittest. This was starting to sound a bit sketchy. So what kind of club was it? To sum it up, it's a club where we play games together. Rika-chan was the only one to answer my question with a pertinent response. So basically this club put Mion's hobby of collecting games to use, by playing the various games that Mion had hoarded every day. It seemed that depending on the day there were prizes for the winner, or a penalty for the person who finished in last place. I'll make this clear now. We aren't playing house here. You should treat each win or loss as if your life depends on it, alright? What's wrong with just having fun? Don't make it sound so crazy. The first rule of our society. Aim only for first place. Going at it half-assed just because it's a game is not allowed. Rule number 2 of our society. For that reason, you are obliged to make all possible efforts. The way Satoko said it sounded like she was saying, use any means necessary. Oh, of course, I will do my best too. I'm pretty weak, but I'm trying my best. I knew what they were trying to say. In a game where everybody is aiming for the top, it's rather unsportsmanlike to play just for fun. Alright then, Alright, then I too will go all out. With that, I was finally ready for the rite of initiation, my baptism into the club. Rize versteht nix. Inwiefern verstehst du nix? Verstehst du allgemein die Dialoge nicht, also das, was gesagt wird? Verstehst du den Hintergrund nicht? Verstehst du nicht, was ich vorhin eben gemeint habe, dass man nicht genau sagen kann, wer jetzt was sagt? Oder... Also wenn du es nicht wem zuordnen kannst. Ja, ich versuche ein bisschen stimmemäßig was zu ändern. Also ich komme langsam so ein bisschen klar damit, wer jetzt was sagt. Ich schaue einfach mal, ob ich meine Stimme so halbwegs gut koordinieren kann. Also jetzt, so wie ich es jetzt gemerkt habe, jetzt ist klar, sie sagt jetzt das, was gesagt wird, weil sie ist neu in die Szene reingekommen, beziehungsweise ins Bild reingekommen heißt, und neuer Dialog heißt, sie wird wahrscheinlich das genau sagen. Also den Anfang ihnen. Also der Anfang ist auch relativ unwichtig eigentlich, bis auf eben dieses eine Zeug, wo halt eben Mord passiert ist, beziehungsweise wo man gehört hat, da ist irgendjemand mal gestorben und die vermissen, glaube ich, noch einen Arm oder ein Bein von dem oder es wurde ein Arm oder ein Bein in diesem Müllhalde-Zeug gefunden, ich weiß nicht mehr. Daran kann ich mich nicht mehr genau erinnern. Das ist das einzige Wichtige, was jetzt bisher passiert ist. A word of warning, Kei-chan. Reina can get pretty nasty. This initiation looks like it's going to be rough. Mion began fishing around in the student lockers in the back of the room. They have the games here at the school? Well, it's club equipment, so I guess that's fine. Complicated games which put Kei-chan at a disadvantage. So today we'll play a game that you should be familiar with. How about a standard card game, like Old Bachelor? Alright, so let's do this. Can't really get into it unless there's a penalty. This time the loser will be sentenced to having their face drawn on. What do you think? Whoa. It won't be oil-based paint, right? Right? Oil-based? Face painting with oil-based paint? That is perfect. Satoko cheered the idea on. She didn't even flinch at the thought of such a severe penalty. It seemed like she was raring to go. If it's going to be like this, then I can't lose either. Then I'll just cut the deck and start dealing. Old Bachelor is pretty much the same as Old Maid. There's only one difference, there's no joker. In its place, one card is pulled out at the start. Meaning there will be one card without a match left over at the end. You don't know which card will end up being the joker. It's a pretty thrilling game. I'll take out the card now. Reina took out one card and left it face down on the table. Everybody stared at that card intently. Well, it'll be pretty obvious in the endgame. No way to tell at the start. But the rest of them were very serious. They didn't seem as relaxed as I was. They compared their cards to the one face down, all the while gauging each other's reactions. It was as if they could see what the face down card was. No, it couldn't be. This deck is pretty worn out. No way can everyone tell by the scratches what the card on the table is. Remember the second rule of our society. Keiichi-san must try his hardest to win as well. A number of cards are quite unique. Keiichi-kun should be able to remember them pretty quickly. She said that so matter-of-factly. Ich kann mal kurz gucken. Sound Volume. Ich kann mal kurz schauen, ob da irgendwie was kommt, wenn ich es auf Japanisch umstelle oder so. Nee, kommt auch nichts. Hm. Lass mich mal kurz gucken. Nee, also, in dem When They Cry Wiki steht auch, also, while the art may seem lacking and simple, the wide range of sound effects and music set the atmosphere for the reader. Heißt, mit Sound Novel ist halt wirklich nur gemeint Soundeffekte und Musik. Also kein Dialog ausgesprochen und so weiter. Ich hatte auch zuerst gedacht, ja, Sound Novel, das vielleicht wird da alles vorgelesen mit und so weiter, aber naja. Ich meine, wenn man sich damit ein bisschen beschäftigt, kommt man schon langsam klar, wer was sagt und so weiter. Zum Beispiel kein Charakter ist hier irgendwie angezeichnet, eingeblendet oder sowas, heißt, das wird wahrscheinlich ich sagen. Suits me fine. Don't think a little thing like that can be your crutch. I lashed out angrily, but it was rather obvious. I was at a disadvantage. After all, they'd gone so far as to memorize the wear and tear for each individual card. This wasn't a simple game of Old Bachelor. If this was a test, then they were playing with the answer sheet in front of them. Bring it. I'll take advantage of your carelessness and beat you at your own game. That baseless confidence would soon be crushed. KKK. How about I tell you your hand starting from the right? 3, 4, 9, Jack, Queen. By the way, the Bachelor is the check of diamonds. I can tell what they are even if you switch them around. I am out. I thought I was prepared, but for it to be this brutal, just overwhelming. Demons! You're all demons! Reina isn't a demon, are you? Sorry, Keiichi-kun. This is the 3 of hearts, isn't it? I'm out. Whoa! Not even a hint of mercy. Reina, even Rika-chan. These club activities weren't to be trifled with. An alumnus of this club would definitely survive in the cruelest of situations. If our entire class had self-detonating collars strapped to their necks and were dropped into a death match on a deserted island, these guys would probably take it like fish to water. I can already picture the joy as they hunt down each of their classmates. It's a lowest point system. The order itself dictates the points. Whoever has the lowest point total wins. Since Keiichi finished last, he has 5 points. There's already a 5 marked down on my scoreboard. I think it's unfair to Keiichi-kun if we don't use a new disc. It's unfair to Keiichi-kun if we don't use a new disc. It's fine, it's fine. Kei-chan is a man after all. Oder, ach nee, das hat die gesagt. He can turn the tables even if the odds are stacked against him, right? It's fitting for a low peasant to scamper home and soak their pillow in tears, don't you think? A petite hand landed itself on top of my head, which was trembling from uncontainable frustration. It was Rika-chan's.
Keep on fighting, yeah.
Thanks to Rika-chan's words of encouragement, I was able to calm down. You need to be calm, especially when you're cornered. That's the power I could muster during this crisis. Think clearly, Keiichi Maebara. Take your time and look at the cards carefully. It's just as Reina said, each card has its own distinct markings that made them stand out. Memorizing them should be pretty simple. Think about what you can do in this situation. Try everything in your power to improve your chances of victory.
Oh, great Keiichi-kun, just like that.
I covered the uniquely marked cards with my hands. I covered the uniquely marked cards with my hands, or other cards, arranging them in such a way that they couldn't be seen.
The one with the ripped corner should be the 5, and I'm out.
I couldn't let any of those precious hints slip by me. All information is a weapon. Then it was my turn. Satoko fanned out her cards for me. You see, I want the 7. Is it this one?
I wonder about that. You won't know unless you take it.
There was a bit of dismay in her expression, like she doesn't want it taken. That kind of expression. I won't let that momentary lapse slip by me. I know. It's this one. Got it. 7 of spades. A cheer of ooh rang out. Hallo?
What is this? The 7 should be the hardest one of all to tell apart.
Mein Gott, ich kann heute nicht vorlesen. It wasn't from memorizing the markings. Those slight changes in the expression. Those slight expression. Yeah, slight changes in the expressions as I was selecting a card were enough.
Can't hide it from me, Kei-chan. This mark means it's the 2 of diamonds.
What? She was startled by her own misread. Of course everyone else was too.
Whoa, it's rare that Mi-chan gets caught wrong. No, Kei-chan, could it be you?
They told them apart by different marks. That mark was a nail scratch. So I put a new one on it.
Are you saying he disguised it as the 2 of diamonds? What an impressive show of wit. Keiichi landed a clean hit.
Clap, clap, clap.
That's great, Keiichi-kun. That was an incredible match, you know?
Warum sagt ihr eigentlich immer so gut wie alles zweimal? Having defeated the Forerunner, Mion, my brilliant battle left me ecstatic. But by total points, it was already set in stone that Mion would win and I would finish last. I laughed tauntingly, selecting the tone of my voice carefully to get on Mion's nerves. Well, I'm going to end up the loser, but I'm satisfied with one-upping Mion at the end. Wahaha! That should be the proverbial slap in the face to Mion, who was at the top already and ensured victory.
Even if Kei-chan gets first place this round, he'll still end up last place overall. Don't you hate that?
Of course I do.
Let's have a duel. One chance. If you win, then we'll swap first and last place. How about it? You up for it?
She fell for it. A chance of an upset that wouldn't be possible without goading her into it. One chance, you say? Let me hear the rules. Mion discarded 2 cards from her hand and replaced one with the joke card that was on the table, then shuffled the resulting hand behind her back. The card in my right or the card in my left. If Kei-chan can guess which hand the joker's in, then he wins. When you turned around just now, you didn't pull out the joker, did you?
If you lose, I show the card in the other hand. That okay?
The other 3 gulped nervously at this unexpected turn of events. Alright. You've got it. Mion grasped one card in each hand and thrust them out at me. First, I needed to inspect them closely. The card on the right hand, had no distinguishing marks. I couldn't tell which one it was.
Which one, I wonder? Keiichi-kun, be careful.
Yeah, of course. This is my chance for a big comeback. Looking closely at the card on the left, I saw a little bear. It wasn't one I hadn't seen before.
Ah, that card is...
I didn't let that bit from Satoko slip by me. Mion clucked her tongue. I didn't recognize the mark on the left card from the small number that I had memorized. I didn't know what the left card was, but I could tell from Satoko's reaction that the card had already appeared during the game. Since it had already appeared before, it meant that it definitely wasn't the Joker.
Oh, Kei-chan thinks it's the one on the right? We choose that one then, will you?
The left card definitely wasn't the Joker. If I could trust that theory, then I should have been able to declare that the card to the right was the Joker. Even without Mion's taunting, the one on the right was the most suspicious. But wasn't it a bit too rash to decide based solely on Satoko's reaction? More carefully. Ah, I remember now. That mark, the left card, no doubt about it. The 7 of clubs.
It's the 7 of clubs, I see.
I've won. The card on the left was the 7 of clubs. So that means the card on the right was the Joker. And then just before my hand touched the right card, I froze. I would expect no less from you. There was a wave of murmurs amongst the onlookers at my sudden halt, right before I confirmed the right card was the Joker.
Huh? What could Keiichi-san possibly be saying? I mean, the left one is... Shh. Oh, what makes you so certain that the right one isn't the Joker, Kei-chan?
Mion let loose an unexpected question. Everyone else was baffled. I don't know what the card on the right could be, but I know that the one on the left is the 7 of clubs.
Then, doesn't that leave the right one as the Joker? One of them has to be the Joker, right?
Yeah. One of those is the Joker, right?
Keiichi has good intuition. Huh? Rika-chan, what do you mean by...
So basically, the 7 of clubs, I discarded that by matching it with Satoko's 7 of spades earlier. Everyone's attention snapped to the discard pile at the same time. The truth of the matter couldn't be discerned from that sloppy pile. So that means Mion pocketed one of discarded cards, then aligned it over the left card, and that means... I see, I get it. This left card is being disguised as the 7 of clubs, right? It was the first time since the start of the match that a shadow ran across Mion's expression, and I didn't let that slip by. Then, with a grand flourish, I declared it loudly. The Joker is the left one! It was an intense moment. That 1 second felt like an eternity for everyone there. Breaking that silence, the first one to speak was Mion. Being the first president of this club, I've been witness to a variety of performances. Kei-chan, yours is the best. The best of the best of the best. That was probably the greatest compliment Mion could give. Mion accepted her defeat, dropping the cards from both hands. My comeback victory. Rika-chan placed her hand on my head and began petting it, congratulating me on my victory. Huh? Rika-chan is... Rina and Satoko gaped at us, as if they had seen a ghost. What is it, Rina? It's not as if I cheated or anything, right? This was fair and square.
Rika only pats someone on the head to console them.
Huh? What's the meaning of... At that moment, Reina let out a small shriek.
Keiichi-kun! This is how it was. You know, Kei-chan, I thought you'd read into that far.
Everyone froze. No, it was just me.
It was a gamble. If we had just jumped to conclusions like a little brat, then I would have lost.
It was the answer everyone was certain about. Mion picked up the card from the losing hand.
Kei-chan, you know you should take pride in this loss.
She turned it around. That was the card that proclaimed the victor of this duel. The card under the 7 of clubs. Unbelievable. It was the 2 of diamonds. It was a setup behind the setup. If I'd just picked the right one without reading so deeply into it.
I, Mion Sonozaki, as the club president, do accept Keiichi Maebara's membership into our club. As I slumped to my knees, dazed, everyone let out a round of applause for the excellent effort I gave despite my defeat. The match is now over. Today's victor is me, Mion Sonozaki, and our exalted loser is Keiichi Maebara. Everyone made a commotion, applauding cheerfully. I felt I was bested, but I was so soundly beaten that it unexpectedly felt rather refreshing. When Michan pulled that little trick behind her back, I got excited thinking she's going to do it again. When Keiichi-san stopped the moment before touching the correct card, I thought he fell for it. He fell for it quite handily.
Huh? Hey, wait. All of them knew from the start and still got so excited so earnestly.
Everyone got excited to make it more fun.
You're all demons! You monsters!
Now then, Kei-chan, it's time for your penalty.
Since it's your first
day participating, I'll go easy, okay? It would be a problem if you refused to come to school.
The other 3 members held down my arms and shoulders firmly. Mion approached, licking her lips. Her right hand went to pull something out of her pocket. That's a felt tip marker. And it's large and oil-based.
Okay, here we go.
She took the cap off the marker and brought it slowly to my face while I was immobilized. No! I let out my death throat. Gut. Anscheinend haben wir unser Gesicht vollgemalt bekommen. Yay. Ich hoffe, das mit den Stimmen ist bisher ganz okay. Ich frage mal kurz Gisabel, ob und wann sie zum Livestream kommt. Falls sie überhaupt ihr Handy dabei hat oder so. As soon as the club activities were finished, Reina flew off. Probably so she could dig out that cute Colonel Sanders that she wasn't able to take home yesterday. Kleinen Kindern kratzige Stimmen. Ja, aber auch nur der Blonden, wie auch immer die heißt. Reina gebe ich ja. Nee, nicht Reina, sondern Rika-chan. Gebe ich ja so eine
Cute Stimme. Indigala hat angekündigt. Good weekend, good irgendwas. Schön. So today it was just Mion and me walking home together. A rather rare occurrence. A mountain of treasure, huh? The guys throwing it away probably never thought it in their wildest dreams that Reyna would be grateful to them. Mountain of treasure, meaning that damn construction site from before. Alright, Mion would probably tell me. That murder by dismemberment that seemed to have happened there. Over there, you know, at that damn construction site. Did something happen there? Long ago? Something sure did. A grand battle. There were sit-ins and demonstrations. It was a bit different from what I wanted to hear, but I decided I'd listen just the same. It was our land that was going to be sunk into the damn reservoir. I would have fought as well, probably. The government guys were really adamant about it. Ach nee, das sagt sie immer. The government guys were really adamant about it, acting all big and full of themselves. Since they figured out that they couldn't settle it with money, they did a bunch of nasty stuff. They were nasty guys. Mion spoke excitedly, as if the whole thing was happening right in front of her. I'm amazed you guys won. You were facing the federal government, right? The mayor and prominent figures in the village all signed petitions. They went to Tokyo and struck deals with legislators, and as a result, the development plan was retracted. It was our complete victory. There wasn't any violence, was there? Like assaults or murders? None. She promptly cut me off. The same as Rena had. Her words signaled the end of discussion. Tomitake-san said one arm wasn't found in the incident. I thought that a murder by dismemberment had occurred, but I guess I was wrong. One arm wasn't found, also gut, ein Arm wurde nicht gefunden. So war's. My curiosity unsated, I sighed dejectedly inside. Later. See you tomorrow. Kei-chan, you can't wash that off until you get home, got it? I got it, I won't. Mion held back her laughter while stealing glances at my face. I wonder what kind of nasty duels they drew. Damn you, Mion. You shall rue this day. If our roles are ever reversed, I'm going to slop it on. All over your face, so you won't be able to take it off. Even with a scrouching pad. Es ist ein bisschen böse, weil ich weiß, was passieren wird. Und das kann man natürlich so sehen, oder das kann man natürlich auch ganz anders sehen. Ein bisschen Foreshadowing. Das ist ein bisschen, ja. Ist super. Upon arriving home, I ran straight into my mom, embarrassing myself yet again. The mood I'd come home to was already on edge. It's not an uncommon thing in our family. Whenever Dad can't come up with a good idea, it always ends up like this. He stomps around the house with his arms crossed. Mom whispered into my ear. Welcome home, KJ. Dad, he's in a bit of a rut right now, so don't bother him, okay? He can't come up with a new idea? It's because the deadliness are so close together this time. The deadlines, nicht deadliness. Deadlines. Also nur die zweite Staffel gesehen. Tja, ich habe nur die erste Staffel gesehen. Die zweite Staffel... Gibt's die zweite Staffel auch endlich mal auf mit englischem Dub? Weil ich habe, als ich Higurashi geschaut habe, habe ich die erste Staffel mit englischem Dub gefunden und alles andere nur mit Original-Dubs und halt höchstens mal mit einem englischen Untertiteln oder so.
mit German Dub. Okay. Okay. Sub. Ja, gut. Ja, soweit ich weiß, gibt's halt auch nur von der ersten Staffel einen englischen Dub. Das ist irgendwie... Ich weiß nicht. Ich könnte mir die restlichen Staffeln natürlich anschauen mit Untertiteln, aber mich stört das ein bisschen, wenn ich lesen muss, damit ich das ganze Zeug verstehe, anstatt auf den Anime direkt schauen zu können. Beziehungsweise man kann halt nebenbei nichts anderes machen, weil ich schaue mir auch manchmal Animes an und was weiß ich, zock nebenbei oder sowas. Und das kann ich halt bei einem Dub nicht machen, bei einem Sub. Da muss ich mich voll auf den Anime konzentrieren und das ist ein bisschen... nix für mich. It's because the deadlines are so close together this time. Your dad needs time to recharge, or he doesn't work as well. Dad's paintings feed our entire family. If he runs out of ideas, then it's the end of the Marbaras. We've never gone hungry before. Could it be that my dad is a master painter? Wouldn't it be easier to get an idea taking a walk outside rather than wandering around the house? The theme of the piece this time is in the household. So it seems your dad wants to use this house as a motive. That's quite a bothersome motive. Keiichi, pick up your room. It looks terrible. Hat es jetzt der Vater gesagt oder die Mutter? Ich weiß nicht. Sorry, I'll clean it up later. Ah, come on. Please don't use my room as the motive. Okay, es hat wahrscheinlich der Vater gesagt. Na. Keiichi, there's still some time before dinner. So please go take a walk out back or something. His bad mood is only temporary. His bad mood is only temporary. As soon as he gets an idea, his mood just improves and he starts humming. Until then, it wouldn't be a bad idea to just go take a walk, so I don't aggravate him further. Well, I guess I will then. Gibt's nur mit Subs. Okay, schade. Sehr schade. I said I was going to take a walk, but I didn't have any particular destination in my mind. I just needed to kill some time. I got on my bike and pondered where to go. I could just go read at the bookstore, but it would take about an hour by bike to get to town. It would be dark by the time I got back, so I didn't want to go unless I had to. The road at night here in Hinamizawa creeped me out. Roads. If Mion and or Satoko ever found out about that, I smiled wryly. Oh yeah, Rena was probably still at the Mountain of Treasure, the damn construction site. The excavation of Colonel Sanders was probably taking her a while. It wouldn't be so bad to have her owe me one. She might return the favor next time we have club activities. Well, with a little bit of self-interest in mind, I set off towards the damn construction site. Tomitake-san might be there as well. The only person with information about the incident that both Rin and Mion denied knowing anything about. Oops. If I met him again, I'd like to ask for more details. To ask, was there really a dismemberment here in Hinamizawa? That was my real intention. I spotted Rena struggling up on the slope of the garbage pile. It looked like Colonel Sanders was lodged in there pretty firmly. It didn't look like Rena would be able to excavate him by herself. Realizing that Tomitake-san wasn't around, I began climbing up the slope unsteadily. Hey Rena! Looks like you're working up a sweat. Whoa, Keiichi-kun! What brings you to a place like this?
A place like this, huh? I see. She was aware of it, at least. I received a signal from emergency assistance at the accident site. Where's the injured party? Huh? Accident, huh? But there was a report. Colonel Sanders was buried alive in the trash pile. Oh, that. You scared me. Don't frighten me like that, Keiichi-kun. I was just kidding. I thought you might be struggling by yourself, so I came to help you out. You came for me? How? Well, I filled my quota for today. If I don't see Reina blush at least once a day, then I'm not getting my daily required nutritional intake. Just kidding. You're embarrassing me now. So, what part was the joke? What part was it? I just ignored her bewilderment. Okay, now move out of the way. So, where is Colonel Sanders? Sorry. Can't you see him in that gap? He's really buried in there? The Colonel Sanders was sideways, surrounded by boards and other construction materials, like they were caging him inside. According to Reina, it wasn't like this yesterday. It seems It seems as though another illegal dumper came yesterday, dumped again, and now he's buried like this. You're trying to move this pile all by yourself? With those scrawny arms? There's no way she would be able to do that with her slender arms. But Colonel Sanders, so cute though! There's a chain on the Colonel Sanders at the store. This one though, I should be able to take this one home. How? If Reina gave up on this Colonel Sanders, she'd probably start devising a plan to steal the one in front of the store. As Reina's guardian, I won't allow her to sully her hands with crime. Out of the way, I'll do it. Reina blushed again, but this time I left it alone. The pile was enormous. Also, the more days we wasted, the more likely another illegal dumping would occur. If it got buried any deeper, there would be nothing that could be done. Keiichi-kun, I'll help too. Let me help. You'd just get in the way, so stay back. Pulling out scraps, bending them, tossing them aside. I quickly became covered in sweat and dust. Flying objects drew beautiful arcs across the twilight sky, one after another. Ich mache mal die Sounds ein bisschen lauter, weil die ein bisschen leise sind. Ja, machen wir die mal. So. Lumber, timber, plywood. Damn it! No matter how much I threw out, there was still more. Even though I could see Colonel Sanders right there. After grandstanding like that in front of Reina, I felt frantic because of how little I had progressed. If I was going to do this seriously, I'd need an axe or saw or something. That's not Keiichi-kun. You're so sweaty. You don't have to try so hard. I'm just doing it for you, Reina. Don't worry about it. Reina began sputtering and turned beet red. Ah, whoops. I meant to say I was trying my best so as to keep her from becoming a criminal. Oh well. I guess I just need a break. This is pretty tough. I sprawled on my back over the grassy slope. I'm so sorry. You're covered in sweat. Reina patted her handkerchief against my forehead. It felt pretty nice. Well, wait here a minute, okay? My house is pretty close. I'll bring you some barley tea, okay? Leaving the handkerchief on my forehead, Reina took off running. The cries of the Higurashi gently cooled the air. After I was certain that Reina was gone, I picked myself up and headed towards what I discovered earlier. That was a garbage pile of magazines and newspapers bound up in twine. Unless I'm mistaken, I believe it was around here. There it was. They were bound as stacks of not so reputable tabloids. They were stacked chronologically going back quite a few years. It was quite a disturbing incident. It seems they haven't been able to find one of the arms, you see. If it was just as Tomitaki-san said, then undoubtedly there would be mention of the murder. These are troubled times. There's no end to these sickening incidents. There's a large part of society drawn in by these incidents as well. So it had to be recorded. Somewhere. I unfastened the packages and opened the rain-soaked pages carefully, looking over the table of contents.
Fruit of Grisaya. Sagt mir nix, nee. Kenn ich nicht. Not here. Next one. Not here. Next one. It was hard to search since I didn't know when it happened. I didn't know who the perpetrator or the victim was either. I only knew it had happened here. I looked up every so often, checking to see if Reina had come back or not. I wouldn't want her to see me gawking at a dirty magazine, but it wasn't just that. Both Reina and Mion said they didn't know. But it had happened, without a doubt. As long as Tomitaki-san wasn't lying. Then, if both Reina and Mion... there they was. Yeah, there was. If they had just said that, then I wouldn't have gotten so hung up on it. An incident that neither Reina or Mion wished to talk about. Trying to uncover it after they tried to conceal it out of good intentions. That made me feel like I was acting against my friends. Hinamizawa dam worker lynching. Murder by dismemberment. Here it is. The featured article was in the back, and it seemed that there was a photograph in the colored pages at the front. The pages of the featured article were stuck together and weren't easy to open. Reina could return at any moment. Feeling rushed, I gave up and opened the photograph page. The police investigators were carrying a body bag, and newspaper reporters were all bathing in it in camera flashes. The image was blurry and hard to understand, but I could definitely make out the headlines. Mein Gott. A tragic nightmare at the Hinamizawa construction site. Lynching and murder / dismemberment. The victim was the site foreman. He had assaulted his assailants daily with an explosive backlash from the daily actions. It's a horrible image to see the site foreman as. It happened. It really did happen. It seemed the details were on the next page. I turned the page without pausing. On it was... The assailants butchered the victim's body with hatchets and pickaxes, then used an axe to split the cadaver into 6 pieces. The head, arms, legs, and torso. I could understand just from the headline that it was just too terrible. An incident. Normally a lynching is just assault and murder, right? Dismemberment with hatchets and pickaxes. It wasn't a lynching. It was a merciless killing, to the latter a brutal murder. Done by a group of people. With hatchets. With pickaxes. With an axe. Ah! Sorry. Did I startle you? Reina dropped the axe. She was holding onto the grass after being startled by my voice. Keiichi-kun, you see, earlier, yeah, you said it would help if you had an axe, didn't you?
So then, I brought an axe for you from the shed. Rena fluttered her arms in a panic, continuing to explain and apologize. It seemed I'd been glaring at her pretty intensely. I'm sorry, I guess my reaction... I'm sorry, I guess my reaction was a bit overboard. No, I'm sorry as well, I'm sorry. Night was drawing close. I was pretty worn out, and it wouldn't hurt to do the rest tomorrow. Doesn't look like we can break that last beam without an axe. You brought it after all. I have to borrow it tomorrow, alright? Okay. Why do you look so glum? Tomorrow we'll be digging out Colonel Sanders, right? You're right. Ah, I really want to take Colonel Sanders home soon. We both knew that it was useless to apologize any more than that. I quenched my thirst with the barley tea Rena brought and wiped off the sweat that had now gone cold. We took the path to head home. I felt quite guilty about the tabloid wrapped up in my jacket. Gut. Guten Abend. Was, hat sich Rena umgezogen? Ich weiß gar nicht. Weiß nicht. One man's trash. Punkt. Errungenschaft. Sehr schön. So, einen kurzen Moment. Special Tabloid Report. Ist da der Artikel drin? Lesen wir den mal vor. Dann wissen wir ganz genau, was da passiert ist damals. Nightmare befalls the Hinamizawa Dam. Lynching and murder / dismemberment. In X month of X day in XX prefecture at the Hinamizawa Dam constructed work site in Shishibone City, a bone-chillingly gruesome murder / dismemberment. Even though this case was shocked the archipelago, the police will give no details on the case. Exactly what happened at the Hinamizawa Dam. They probably didn't mean to kill him at first, but as the victim resisted by swinging around a shovel, the rest of the perpetrators armed themselves in return, and it quickly escalated into homicide. So said the aforementioned investigator A. After this bloody tragedy was over, they were left with a body which nobody thought was alive. XX-san had tormented the suspects daily with his rough behavior. At first, it was meant to be payback. All the perpetrators were horrified by the date, and one even turned himself into the police. It was the de facto leader of this group, XX, who suggested hiding the body. Reluctantly at first, they soon began to think they did not wish to be caught. The construction site had numerous places to hide the body with 6 people. They were originally supposed to hide the body and leave the area. But the de facto leader feared that the consciences of the other 5 wouldn't be able to bear the burden, and came up with a horrifying method to keep them from turning him into the police. He devised the heinous method of splitting up the body among them and making each of them responsible for hiding a piece. XX had turned a simple manslaughter into a gruesome dismemberment and forcibly involved each perpetrator in order to create a sense of unity between them. Each one participated, but what does this mean? Person A spoke out reluctantly. XX had ordered each and every one of them to dissect a piece for themselves. They were hesitant at first, but nobody refused. In for a penny, in for a pound. What it meant. Thus, an unimaginable bloody criminal ceremony began. Mein Gott. The perpetrators wept and vomited as they performed the gruesome task. There was one person who stubbornly refused, but XX... Dankeschön, Dankeschön. There was one person who stubbornly refused, but XX threatened them, saying nothing would change if someone else ended up dead, and he gave up in his objections. But XX's plan collapsed in the span of one night. XXX, who had refused to dissect the corpse up until the last moment, had broken down into tears at the hospital where he was being treated for an injury sustained during the scuffle and confessed. The criminals were arrested one after the other, but the de facto leader XX's whereabouts are still unknown. Also, the right arm, hidden by XX, has yet to be found. Despite an ongoing search, this horrible individual has so far managed to elude law enforcement. What could the police be doing? It appears that XX had said he was going to throw the body, right arm, into the marsh. XX's car was discovered abandoned near the marsh, but there were no clues to his whereabouts. XX didn't trust his companions. One cannot deny the possibility that he had expected his companions to confess to the police and use his car as a decoy. Of course I doubt that theory. Since he has no car, one would expect him to have a limited area to which he could have escaped to. But within this station there were rumors going around that he had accidentally slipped and drowned in the marsh when he went to throw away the body. To the locals, that marsh is believed to be bottomless. It's known as Onigafuchi, the ogre's abyss, and it's said that the bottom of the marsh is connected to the hellish world of demons. The atrocious demon from hell that was XX. Could it be that he had returned to hell through the marsh? Was? The Jin Dragon, bringer of luck and fortune. Prosperous future. Ladies leaping into your arms. Business success. Promotions. Ambition. Protection from harm. Not just what pachinko and horse races. Not just with pachinko and horse races, but business and even love. Guaranteed or your money back. The Jin Dragon Bracelet DX. One piece. 27.800 Yen. Bisschen. Ja, das Ende halt. Ich meine. Gut, haben wir das dritte Kapitel auch schon. Fertig. Ist doch schön. Sehr schön. Können wir... Wie viel hat denn das Zeug überhaupt? Möchte ich mal kurz nachschauen.